Hello learners, welcome to this online course on electricity and safety measures. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the accidents due to electric shock. I am Dr. Rakhi Sharma from School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. So learners, the main objective of today's learning sessions are focus on cases of electric shock and fire. So after going through this session, you will be able to discuss the various aspects of electric shock. Then after, you will know about the safety precautions and simple methods for handling cases of electric shock. So electric shock and fire are two major hazards in electrical installations, and we would like to deal with them in some detail. So we begin by taking up the prevention and handling of electric shock first. So you have learnt in previous module that electricity always attempts to travel to the ground and will follow the path of least resistance to get there. That means electricity always follow the least resistance path. And if a conductor of electricity becomes available there, then electric current will flow through the path to ground. So the tools and equipment you use and even your own body, which is approximately has 70% of water, are excellent conductor. So becoming a part of the path to ground can damage your even your equipment and can cause serious personal injury, including severe burns and even death. So learners, note that electricity travels at very high speed at which you don't get a warning, and there is no time to react, and this is why it is important to respect electricity each and every time you use it or work around it. All voltages are dangerous. Even low voltage shock may be fatal. So what are some important aspects of electric shock? So you know that people suffer from electric shock when they touch an electrically charged object or while they contact with another surface capable of conducting electricity to the ground. So the current then flow through their body. The severity of the shock depends upon the amperage, the amount of the current, duration of contact, and resistance of the pathway through the body. For example, if your skin is damp, so it is less resistant to current flow and permit greater current to flow through it. So for this reason, you should work in dry environment while handling electricity. The seriousness of shock also depends on the path the current takes through the body. For example, a small current passing through the heart is much more critical than current passing between two fingers of the same hand. Some other facts are testing for live current with one hand instead of two reduces the risk of the dangerous shock by making current less likely to flow through the heart. So in a serious shock accident, the path that the electric current takes through the body gets very hot. Burns occur all along the path, including the place or places on the skin where the current enters and leaves the body. People can feel electric current at the level as low as approximately 1 milliampere current, which produces a slight tingling sensation. So we have discussed all these aspects, that what will be the effect of the current on human body, in a separate session. So just I am briefing some part here. So increasing current level above the 5 milliampere, you know 5 milliampere is what? Let go threshold. It can cause loss of muscular control, irregular heart rhythm, and finally cardiac arrest. So 5 milliampere is only a small fraction of the current needed to power 60 watt. So you can see that the severity of the current, which is if you increase from the 5 milliampere, which is such a small amount of the current. Even when you power a 60 watt bulb, it draws about half ampere. So electrocution can occur even if actual contact is not made with the line. The greater the line voltage, the faster the electricity is able to jump to the ground conductor. The personnel working in power utilities can safeguard themselves by following the practices described in this section here. I am showing you one very interesting slogan here. The work safe today, be back tomorrow. So learners, before going further, we will see that preventing and handling electric shock, what are do's and don'ts. So place yourself in a safe and secure position to avoid slipping, stumbling or moving backward against live conductors or apparatus. Do not rely for protection upon the care assumed to be exercised by others. Stop all outdoors work on electrical system in the event of near approach of a lightning storm. And do not take unnecessary risk with electricity. Low voltage under certain circumstances can be more dangerous than the high voltage. Remember this thing. Other do's and don'ts are: disconnect the supply immediately in case of the fire near the electrical apparatus, and do not leave casualty in contact with the live apparatus. Switch off current immediately. To prevent the electric shock or handling this, remember, remove the casualty from the cause and render first aid and send for doctor and take the casualty to a hospital or dispensary. Do not discontinue artificial respiration until recovery or death is certified by doctor. It may take more than 2 to 3 hours for recovery. Study carefully and practice first aid treatment for injured person, such as instruction for this artificial respiration after electric shock displayed at every major electrical installation. So learners, do not attempt to disengage a person in contact with a live apparatus which cannot be switched off immediately. Insulate yourself from earth by standing on a rubber mat or a dry board before attempting to get him or her clear. Remember, do not touch her or his body. Pull him or her by clothes if they are dry, or push him or her clear with the piece of dry wood. Further, report all accidents, whether minor or major, non-fatal or fatal, immediately to the person in charge. Do not remove the body without the permission of the police, even after certification of the death by doctor. Some additional precautions are given here. Although these seems very simple, but these are very important to know. The person other than utility employees should not try to replace street light or set right service wires, etc. The nearest utility office should be informed if loose or hanging wires are noticed there. Take extra precautions when working in abnormally damp areas. So remember, learners, here also you can see the some slogans which is indicating that this is the protection against the shock is utmost important for your life. When either accidentally or otherwise, live mains and apparatus constitute a danger to person in a public place also. A person should be detailed to stand by and personally warn the public until the danger has been removed. All portable electrical apparatus should be regularly examined, tested and maintained to ensure that the apparatus and loads are in order. All loose wiring such as the flexible cable for portable lamps, tools and drilling cables and other portable and transportable apparatus should be inspected and tested regularly at frequent interval to ensure safety. While drilling borewell, it should be ensured that the casing pipe do not touch live wires while they are being lifted up. Even unauthorized person should not go near the distribution transformer and attempt replace of transformer fuses. Unauthorized person should not touch low-lying or stepped conductors or lean against the electric pole. Remember this thing. Then stand beneath overhead lines while heavy wind are blowing. So what are the precautions to be taken before providing temporary earth? So these precautions are: ensure that the line equipment are not live. Allow only authorized person to provide temporary earth or remove it. Then firmly connect insulated wire for providing earthing to earth electrode before touching any equipment. You should remember that take care that the earth wire is not close to other live wires. Provide temporary earth on both sides of the work spot. While disconnecting earth, first disconnect the earth rod from the line or equipment. Ensure that the person providing the temporary earth wears rubber gloves. It is also to be ensured that the person providing the earthing procedure is at lower level than the line or equipment being earthed, and other person are 6 meters away while earthing. What are other precautions taken before providing temporary earth? Do not allow the earthing to be disconnected until the whole work is completed and cleared of people and materials from there. Make sure that while work is being done on the 3-phase line, all conductors are earthed, even if work is being done by only on 1 phase. Ensure that while one or more workmen are working at a height, other are away so that the tools or materials are dropped accidentally, they are not hurt. Every employee should watch his or her counterpart that the safety procedures are being followed. This is very important. Whenever a switch is found open, check up why it is kept open. Examine the parts of the line and equipment it is controlling, and ensure that is safe to reclose before doing so. Ensure that your hands or clothes are not wet while earthing or working on earthing. It is unsafe to check whether a line is live or dead with bare hands or by other method. So now we are going to discuss about the line clear and precautions. We have discussed some part in our substation equipment also. So but here we are discussing in the safety point of view. So in the course of the work, you would be supervising technical personnel working on various electric lines. So therefore you should be aware of the associated precautions. And we begin with safety around overhead lines here. This overhead power lines are not insulated and looks can be deceiving. What may appear as insulation is weatherproofing material. Wires should not be touched under any circumstances. There is a minimum safe distance which should be maintained when working near energized power lines, and you have read about it in the previous section. Note that the minimum safe distance increases as the voltage increases. Safe distance also can be affected by the weather conditions and other factors. Additional minimum safe distance for various voltages are here I am showing you. You can see the minimum safe distance around overhead power lines. So here the line voltages are given at one column and other column representing the minimum safe distance. You can see here up to the 50 kilovolt, the minimum safe distance is 3 meter, or this is 10 feet. 50 kilovolt to 200 kilovolt, it is 5 meter or 15 feet. 200 to 350 kilovolt, the minimum safe distance is 7 meter or it should be 20 feet. Similarly, when you are increasing the voltage 750 to 1000 kilovolt, the maximum this is the 15 meter or 45 feet. So you are increasing the distance and voltage level. That means you have to increase the minimum safe distance from the overhead power lines. So we now describe the other safety precautions that need to be observed. Till the line clear is received from the sources, every line or equipment should be treated as live. No person should get up a pole or work on any lines or equipment unless he or she is specifically authorized to do so. This has already been mentioned in the electricity rules, and you should follow all these rules.